When you think of Iran today, you probably think of a country gripped by a strict regime, protests, and ongoing conflict. But our perception of Iran is dominated by a government that has controlled it for only a fraction of its long history. To understand modern Iran, we have to look past the headlines and go back in time. For most of its history, Iran, historically known to outsiders as Persia, was an advanced civilization and a superpower ruling over vast swaths of land. But empires rise and fall, and our story begins around the year 1800, when a ruling dynasty called the Qajars found themselves caught right in the middle of two rapidly expanding global superpowers, the Russian Empire and the British Empire. In the early 1800s, Russia fought and easily defeated Iran in several wars, taking control of strategic land and forcing Iran to sign restrictive treaties that handed Russia exclusive military control and trade privileges. Watching closely from the sidelines were the British, who grew deeply nervous. They feared that if Russia gained a foothold here, it would threaten the key to India, the British Empire's most prized and valuable colony. Thus began a fierce geopolitical competition known as the Great Game. Too big and mountainous to easily conquer, Britain and Russia chose to control Iran from the outside. Meanwhile, the Iranian king, the Shah, was struggling financially. To raise cash, he began playing the two empires against each other by selling off exclusive economic concessions, granting foreign powers monopolies over key industries, railroads, and resources. Soon, foreign engineers, bankers, and soldiers flooded the country, exploiting its wealth while ordinary Iranians reaped very few benefits. Decades of foreign control eventually pushed the Iranian people to a breaking point. In 1890, when the Shah sold a total monopoly on tobacco to a British middleman, the public revolted, forcing the Shah to cancel the deal. This proved that collective protest could actually work. In 1905, Iranians rose up again in one of the Middle East's first constitutional revolutions, demanding a parliament to limit the Shah's absolute power and put a stop to secret foreign sell-offs. But democracy faced fierce enemies. The Shah's son, who hated the parliament, teamed up with Russia. Russian troops even brought cannons to shell the parliament building, killing hundreds of lawmakers. Just as the dust settled, a discovery changed Iran's destiny forever: oil. Britain secured the rights to explore it, and soon the British Navy shifted its ships from coal to oil, making Iran central to Britain's global military dominance. When World War I broke out, Iran declared neutrality, but the war came to them anyway. The economy collapsed, and at least 2 million Iranians died from famine and disease brought on by the foreign conflict. Following the chaos of World War I, a strong military leader named Reza Shah rose to power. Eager to restore Iran's ancient greatness and shake off humiliating foreign dominance, he launched a massive modernization campaign. He built roads, schools, a university, and a trans-Iranian railway while promoting secularism and Farsi culture. However, history soon repeated itself. During World War II, as Reza Shah tried to maintain neutrality and protect Iran's sovereignty, Britain and the Soviet Union invaded the country to secure vital supply lines and oil fields. They forced Reza Shah off the throne into exile and installed his young son, Mohammad Reza Shah, who was much more willing to cooperate with Western interests. Once again, ordinary Iranians watched helplessly as foreign powers treated their homeland like a chessboard. After World War II, the Iranian people were more motivated than ever to break the cycle of foreign domination. The pro-British Shah was deeply unpopular, but a charismatic political leader named Mohammad Mossadegh rose to prominence with a clear message: reclaim Iran's sovereignty. Mossadegh's primary target was oil. While Britain was pumping massive amounts of oil from Iranian soil, Iran was receiving a mere 16% of the profits. In 1951, Mossadegh became prime minister, and the Iranian parliament overwhelmingly voted to nationalize the oil industry, taking total control back for the nation. Britain was furious. They imposed a crippling economic boycott, sending Royal Navy warships to blockade Iranian oil tankers. When negotiations failed, Britain turned to the United States. In the midst of the Cold War, British intelligence convinced American officials that Mossadegh might lean toward the Soviet Union. Fearing a communist threat, the CIA and British intelligence orchestrated a covert operation. They funded protests, bribed politicians, and successfully executed a military coup in 1953. Mossadegh was arrested, placed under house arrest, and the pro-Western Shah was restored to absolute power with the backing of foreign intelligence. The 1953 coup permanently altered the course of Iranian history. By destroying Iran's democratic movement and reimposing a foreign-backed autocrat, the West sowed the bitter seeds of resentment that would ultimately culminate in the 1979 Islamic Revolution. To understand the Iran of today, one must understand this century-long struggle for power, freedom, and sovereignty.